Welcome to Her Remarkable History. Remember, to support our channel, please subscribe. The mysterious Russian girl of Elizabeth I's court. Inside the court of Elizabeth I, there were many women who were close to the brilliant Tudor Queen. Elizabeth, during her reign, would regularly seek counsel and advice from a number of women, including her former governesses that knew her better than most people. Elizabeth, during her time on the throne, would defeat the Spanish Armada and would seal various threats to her throne, including Mary Queen of Scots. She was helped by brilliant advisers such as Cecil and Walsingham, who gave her good counsel throughout her life. But within Elizabeth's court there were also a significant amount of gossip, including rumours about the Queen being secretly married to Robert Dudley, the Earl of Leicester, and possibly even being pregnant. Elizabeth's court was dominated by a number of powerful women, and her closest ladies of the privy chamber would even help the Virgin Queen go to the toilet. But inside of Elizabeth's court was a Russian woman whose role in history during the Tudor period has actually been largely forgotten about. But what is Aura Sultana's story? Now, Aura Sultana was a woman from Russia who came to the royal court during the Tudor period. She was also known as Hippolytan, the Tartarian, or Hippolyta, and it's believed that the sailor Anthony Jenkinson brought a young woman or child from Russia to England. This child then joined the court of Elizabeth I, and she was a prominent part of court life. In September of 1559, it was said that Anthony Jenkinson wrote a letter to Moscow to a trading colleague thanking him for "my wench Aura Sultana." With this, it's believed that Jenkinson may have been given Aura in some form of business deal. However, she was said to have been a young Tartar who was then given to the Queen afterwards. It's believed that Aura was a slave who was brought to England for the price of a loaf of bread worth about 6 pence. Now, on the 13th of July, 1561, Aura was christened, and Elizabeth I then gave her a number of gifts. She was given a gold chain and a gold locket, and it's a strange thing to think that this child came from Russia and was virtually adopted by the royal court. It's not known who was her godmother, and it's not known if the Queen was, but at the heart of this was a young Russian girl who was in a foreign country and being courted by the royalty of England. She had pretty much been abducted and sold to an Englishman. However, she was, in 1562, brought a pewter metal expensive doll to play with while she was at court, and then over the next few years she was given lavish and expensive clothing, it's presumed, giving her from the Queen or the royal treasury. The doll she was given was made by a silkwoman, who then gave this to Cat Ashley, and she suggested that Cat Ashley should look after Aura. Cat had already a huge amount of experience looking after children, and especially high-profile ones, as she was the governess of Queen Elizabeth I, and was a very close friend of hers. Cat Ashley would raise Elizabeth from being a young girl, and it was said that she accustomed the little girl to the elaborate code of politeness and respect to her elders, and she taught the future queen many skills, including how to be a princess and a monarch. Cat Ashley was involved in raising this young Russian girl, and it's believed that she would have schooled her in a number of other skills, and could have helped to teach her English. There was also a number of pairs of shoes brought for her, and these were made by the Queen's shoemaker, and these including leather shoes made from the Spanish leather, and she had some shoes made from leather which, at the time, was the same as the Queen's. It's almost as if Aura was being dressed in the same manner as the Queen was at the time, and that she may have been a mini version of her. Further clothing was brought for Aura, and the Queen even gifted her clothing. This included 2 loose gowns of black taffeta, a French kirtle and russet satin, and she was given further black satin. These clothes were made for the Queen, but were given away as gifts. Further clothes that were given to her were a petticoat of red cloth, 6 canvas smocks, half a pound of thread for making smocks, 6 ounces of Granada silk thread, and much more. It's not known what happened to Aura Sultana. It's most likely that she was brought to England as a war prize and was captured and enslaved as a child, and that she was brought to England as an offering for the Queen. Many historians have claimed that she was the first Muslim lady in Tudor England, but she continued to be used by her Christian name of Aura. She would have been brought to the court as a slave, but she was rather well looked after. She continued to be mentioned until the end of the 1560s of court records, but there are so many questions about Aura. It's not known if she continued to serve the Queen in an official capacity as a lady-in-waiting as she got older, or whether she left court to live a life away from the monarchy and the palaces. But Aura Sultana's life is a story which leaves a lot to be discovered, and as Elizabeth reigned for over 40 years after she arrived at royal court, it's very much possible that she remained a constant amongst other women of the Tudor court, rubbing shoulders with some of the Queen's closest friends and associates. Thank you for watching, and to support, please subscribe to Her Remarkable History. Thank you.